Okay, so let's get the crafting going for this video now that we got that out of the way. So I had found these sublimation luggage tags from Michael's, and we're not sublimating. We're actually going to go ahead and just put some vinyl on there. And let me go ahead and get this. Wow, that is stuck on there. Okay. So I'm going to make three luggage tags, excuse me. Oh, nice. And it has these little belts with them. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply some rubbing alcohol on here just to make sure there's nothing on there that looks a little dirty in my opinion. So I'm just going to go ahead and give them a good clean. Now, if you're going to use these for sublimation, then you're going to want to make sure that you use a lint-free cloth. So that way you don't get those little blue dots. I think the sublimation is amazing. I think it's fun to do, and I would love to do it more often, but to me, it's a hit or miss sometimes, and I get really upset when I waste a blank, especially sublimation blanks, because they can get on the expensive side. So I tend to shy away from sublimation, although I might bring some to my channel soon. But all right, let's just go ahead and. So I just monogrammed my husband and my daughter and myself. Okay, so I just did permanent vinyl just so that way I feel like it would hold up a little bit better. And then, oopsie. Okay, let's try to get this centered. And actually, I think what I'll do. Just so I can get this centered a little bit better. It kept on messing with me. Just using the parchment paper. And then I'll still get it crooked though. I'll use this method and I'll still go crooked. Alright, so I'm just going to look at this, make sure it's straight, looks good to my eye. Okay. So I did navy blue for him. And then for myself, I used this opal, I think it's what it's called. It's matte. It's really pretty. Kind of gives it a little different shine depending on how the light hits it. Okay, so first one down, and then we'll go ahead and do my name next. And again, I'm going to use my parchment paper just to hopefully help me align this. We'll see. Okay. Oh. Okay, so as I was going to lift this up to try to get this positioned, readjust this, this thing came right out, and then this just stuck. So I had no chance of saving it. So I think it's a little crooked, but it seems fitting for me. My life is just like that. It goes crooked occasionally. Okay, I think that's good. If it's not, then it is what it is, right? And peel that back. Okay, so here they are. Despite the little mishap with mine, I still think they all turned out really well. And I really like this navy blue. I should have done navy blue for myself. It's my favorite color. Okay, this next project, we are going to work on a sign for my living room. And actually, let me put it the right way here. So this sign, well, we're going to put it this way, but I'm going to put it this way just so you guys can see it. So this was from Hobby Lobby. Again, I actually bought, I think it's called museum board. Cut the size of the size of the frame here and just glued it on there. Or I think I might have used double-sided tape. So what we're going to do is I have a lamp that's kind of close to this color and some pillows that are a shade of this color. So I thought instead of using black vinyl as I normally do, I'm going to go ahead and use this pretty pearl cyan color. So that is what we're going to do with this one. I'm anxious to see, you know, how this is going to play out. So this is pretty big, right? And normally when I work with this type of size, I opt to choose iron-on just because it's more manageable that way. But of course I didn't have the iron-on color I wanted. And so this is going to be a challenge trying to go ahead and transfer this onto my blank there. I was just thinking, as I was weeding this would be a really pretty vinyl if you have like a, I don't know if it's not so much a lakefront house, but maybe, you know, if you have a beach house, this would be really pretty for you to use. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my transfer tape and I'm going to expose just a little bit. Now, if anything, you guys don't do the like exposing a little bit on the smaller projects, a little bit of your transfer tape. If you don't do that, this would be the project to make sure that you do that, because having all this transfer tape to deal with and just with how staticky it can get, it is so important that, well, I mean, you do whatever you want, but it really does help out if you just expose about 1 inch or 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches, depending on how much you want to have, you know, access to. And then I am going to, because it really doesn't matter, right? Which direction. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and bring it over, and then I'm going to go ahead and apply my transfer tape. So now that I got that started, then what I'm going to do is turn it to the side, and I'm going to, so now you see that it provided this little handle for you, and I'm going to try to make sure that this goes on as straight as humanly possible. It looks like I'm getting a little bit of some bubbles. So I'm going to make sure I work that out real quick before I continue to have any bubbles. It just keeps on. Okay, so then what I'm going to do is pull this out. Again, trying to make sure I got a little bubbles, but go ahead and try to peel this back up as possible. And then lay this down ever so carefully. Okay. Okay. It's like a nice little wrinkle going on here. Okay, so we're giving it another try. Okay, so I'm going to keep this because I'm going to try to reuse this transfer tape again. Okay, so before I mess with this, I'm going to turn it on its side. You can see that I have some bubbles. I'm going to try to lift this. Okay, so I can't lift it up because it's already wanting to stick on the transfer tape, which is, I guess, a good thing, right? So let me go ahead and just scrape all this down. Let's go ahead and try to remove the carrier sheet. Now you want to be careful, you know, you don't want to make sure nothing is sticking to the carrier sheet. You don't want to accidentally rip it, because I've done that a couple times. Wasn't focusing on the whole thing. Like, for example, this, I missed that and then I pulled it and didn't realize and ripped it. So you just want to make sure that you really slow down. This is not a project to be rushed. Let's just put it that way. When you work with such large vinyls. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my blank here. I'll lift this up and put it under it. And we're done. I'm just kidding. Wish we were. Now here comes my least favorite part, is centering this whole thing. Now, I, of course, can use the parchment paper, and I just might use it. But I'm going to try to see if I can attempt not using the parchment paper. And if I can, then I'm not going to. If I can't, then I will. So let's go ahead and try to get this bad boy centered. Who was I kidding? I don't know why I was thinking I was be able to do this without parchment paper. I gave it a good solid try, and I said, nope, I am not going to ruin this project. So the parchment paper just allows you to move it around while you're trying to get it centered, and then you're just going to remove that parchment paper like we just did with our tags, our luggage tags. I think I have it where I want it to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of make sure that's stuck on there good. And I'm going to, might need to peel this back and slowly pull the transfer tape out. Making sure, again, that there are no bubbles. Beautiful. If you don't have this in your craft stash, you gotta ask yourself why. It is a dream. Okay, so I'm just gonna use my finger to get these exposed vinyls rubbed down, make sure it's adhered to the museum really well. So that way I don't need to use my scraper tool because I don't want to accidentally ruin that. Okay, so now what we're going to do is slowly peel this liner back, because even though this vinyl has, or the, not vinyl, excuse me, transfer tape, even though this transfer tape is usually good with paper crafts, it still can rip it if you don't slowly take, or if you don't take your time. So that is what I'm going to do. I was a little worried about this white, or this vinyl not sticking out with the white background, but honestly I think it's actually turning out really nicely. So I apologize if I can't get this in screen, but I'm going to go ahead and have it tilt on the side here just to kind of give you an idea. So I think this turned out really good. I'm not sure if it's going to show up on camera really well, given it has that shine to it, but you know, in person it actually does stand out pretty good. Okay, let's go ahead and get into another big sign so we can get that out of the way, and then we'll move into the last one, which is on the smaller scale and it's an iron-on. Okay, this next project I used my Cricut Joy, no, not my Cricut Joy, actually my Cricut Joy, and I'll bring in the blank here in a moment. I'm going to go ahead and get this weeded out. So, with the Cricut Joy Smart material, I always opt to use their transfer tape, I find, because this seems a little bit stiffer than the other vinyls, and I think because of that, you're going to need to use like their type. But I don't know, for some reason they pair really well together. I'm not saying it's perfection every time, but also it's cut down to the size of the vinyl. So why, I don't see a point of cutting up my larger transfer tape. So this is going to go above my back door. I just like how you walk in, and then you can, from a long day, you'll see the sign just says welcome home. I really like it. Perfect. Then I like to rotate it. I don't know, just what I like to do. Just that way I can see this a little better, and it's positioned in a way that it helps me. Not sure if any of that makes sense. And somehow I'm going super crooked, so I'm trying to make sure that I am going really, really crooked with trying to get this to lay down. Okay, well, that's unfortunate, but it is what it is. I think I got it. Whoops. A little bubble there, but that's all right. It's not on the vinyl. Oh, spoke too soon. All right, there we go. So I have no idea how well this is going to adhere to this, whatever that is. Ooh, oh, that was a terrible sound. Oh, sorry. Okay, so I'm going to really try to scrape that down. Go ahead and try to peel this back. Okay, I was a little, oh shoot, oh no. Oh my goodness. All right, heart, don't give up on me now. Oh my goodness, okay. I think it's whatever this material is, just does not play well with the vinyl. All right, so we're not done because we have some troubled areas, of course. So I'm going to kind of see what we can do to remediate this little bubble. Kind of following it down, and then I think just straighten that up. Nope. Okay, that took care of that. Okay, so then this one, sometimes just want to try to push that vinyl along. Sometimes you gotta give it the direction by lifting up parts at a time, and just follow that air bubble all the way out to where it reaches the end. So I'm going to lift this part up, because then this should be fairly easy just to lay down. I didn't want to lift the whole thing up because I feel like that would be not as manageable. But there you go. Worked it out. Not the end of the world. I really like this. And I'll be sure to link the SVG. I believe I got this on Design Bundles. And I think this turned out super adorable. All right, let's go ahead and get into the last craft project. Okay, so we want small, we want big, and then we're going back to small. So I found this cute little, they call it a sewing patch, they call it a sewing pouch. My goodness, excuse me. It's late night crafting. It's when I can get my craft fitting videos done. But anyway, I don't know if I'm going to be able to iron this on, if I'm being completely honest. I really like it. I don't sew, but I'm going to use this for my purse. And we'll see how that how it works for my purse. If not, I'll just give it to my daughter. Well, technically I'm using my initials or my monogram, so we're bringing it back, we're tying it in, or we're bringing it back to the end of the video with the more monogram. And I just went with white to bring up the white that's in this pouch here. So I don't know what material it is. I'm worried about it melting, if you will. So I'm also going to use parchment paper just to protect it. And then I'm going to use my mini press, and I'm going to start with low and then see how it works. And if it doesn't, then we can always increase it. I just worry about it affecting it. And again, I don't know what material. I looked at the tag and it just says do not wash. So, that's all I know. All right. Oopsie daisy. Okay, let's go ahead and move that over. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put it here in the middle, flatten it out. And this is just regular white HTV. That looks good to me. Okay, let me go ahead and get some parchment paper. I want to protect my surface here. And then I'm going to go ahead and apply my heat. And I don't know, again, I don't know if I need to increase the heat. And again, I'm not sure of the temperature, but I'm not going to try to keep it. For one, the mini press, easy mini press, is not meant to be still, but I definitely don't want to because I know this is plastic on the inside, or I don't know, whatever material it is. I'm not, you know, this is supposed to be for sewers, so they would probably know. It's had time to cool down, and I'm going to go ahead and I see some troubled areas, but I'm going to still try to remove that liner. I think that R needs to get hit a little bit better. So I'm going to go ahead and I like to have that liner removed so that way I don't have to worry about trying to peel that up and then accidentally peel up the HTV. So that's why if I can, I'll try to remove it. Okay. See, and then I don't have to worry about peeling that up. But this is really sticky on the inside. Again, it's that plastic. So I'll try not to, there you go, open that back up. Luckily, it didn't get ruined. I think had I applied more, what I did is, again, I did it on low setting, and it's, I don't know what setting it is. And it has this, I don't even know what that is. Plastic that's in, it's not plastic. I don't even know. It's kind of like silicone texture, but I know it's not. But anyways, so I think had I went a little bit hotter, I would have definitely ruined this thing for sure. And it's good on there, so I don't even have to worry about that. I think that turned out super adorable. I love it. All right, let's go ahead and bring in everything, and I'll let you guys know what my favorite craft was. So I couldn't fit everything in frame, so I apologize. Everything's kind of going off the top here and at the bottom here. But I'm going to have to say what my favorite craft was this larger sign. Even though I had its challenges just being a large sign in general, the vinyl worked great. It's just, it's a challenge trying to lay all that down at once. I just really like that. And I like that I went with a different color other than the black vinyl. So this one was just super pretty in its own. And then of course we worked on these luggage tags. And I think that despite a little mishap that the vinyl just wanted to go down on its own, I really like that. And again, these are sublimation blanks. I got them from Michael's, and you of course can sublimate on it, but I just wanted to do something quick and simple with these so that way I can get these on my luggage tag. I'm actually going to be traveling here soon, so it's good that I got this done. And then, of course, this welcome home. I really like how that turned out. I wonder if the struggle was because of whatever finish this is, or if it's just because this was really old vinyl that was in my stash I'm trying to get rid of and use up. So I wonder if that was just the reason why I struggled, or it's actually just this material, like whatever finish that is. And then lastly, this little cutie pie. I can actually just put these here until I get those on my luggage. But anyway, I just really like how that turned out. And while there's not a whole lot of white that's going on, I like that this pops out. And I really think that it turned out super adorable. All right, guys. Well, that is all I have for you for this video. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe and like this video. And of course, give me your comments. I love reading your comments. And yeah, thanks for watching this video. Have a wonderful day.